Hello.
Hold on just one second. Let me mute your stream.
No worries.
Yes, it was moi. Yeah, that was painful to listen to. How are you?
Phew. I'm reeling from the mental damage. That was a lot.
Yeah. Oh God. Here's what I would want to say. I was literally on the fence about this,
Mm-hmm.
about Biden either stepping down or, as you were describing without saying it, 25th Amendment time. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, one of those two has to happen. And frankly, I kind of prefer the 25th Amendment thing, and well, unless he steps down both from the ballot and the presidency, because
Yeah. I don't
like
think he's gonna do that.
I know, if he steps down from the ballot, we can limp along for a few months with him there. But oh my God, like I read the same articles you did. Um, Jesus, like it's it's not good.
Yeah. No.
Um,
It's really bad. Like, I I don't think anyone close to him in his cabinet is willing to go 25th Amendment. Unfortunately, I think right now it's just we're just looking ahead to the
y-
election.
you might be right. You might be right. I don't know. But that would be literally the last thing that they want to do. I
Mm-hmm.
understand that, but who boy, like, all right. At the very least, I did like the substance of that speech, and minus all the screw ups and slip ups and
Yeah.
calling Zelensky Putin because sure. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna vote for a wombat if that's what's at
Yeah.
the top of the Democrat ticket. And I know a bunch of people here like that. I want to inject a little bit of hopium into people. So I'm in like the Detroit area. I mean, I'm in what's her name? Tlaib's district out
Mm-hmm.
here.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
so like I do occasionally yell at her, but it's always about Ukraine. I don't need to yell at her about Palestine, Israel. She's already on board with that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like yeah, that's more or less how that's going. But I mean, you talk to people who aren't terribly politically active,
Mm-hmm.
like people at work. It can be fascinating. We're all a bunch of weird politics nerds, right? And guess what? People who show up to events also tend to be weird politics nerds
True.
because that's who would go. I don't even go to them that much, but like they're around sometimes, and I will say hi. Um, but yeah, you want to know what? I'll just take a random person from work here and
Yeah.
not use his real name or his real job.
Go for it.
We'll call him Bill. Bill runs one of the machines at work. Uh, I've asked him about politics before, and you know what he does?
Well, can I
Take a
ask?
wild
Can I
guess.
can I ask like what kind of a workplace are you in?
It's an industrial setting. I mean, we
Okay.
we make stuff for the auto companies.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to know,
Um,
like in my head, like kind of what kind of machines. All right.
yeah, it's not, it's we have saws, CNC stuff, things like that.
Okay.
Um, but he runs one of those machines, and I'll ask him. I'll be like, "Hey, Bill, what's going on?" We'll talk about. I might bring up something that happened in politics world, and yeah, what do you think he does after that? Like, just as a general like conversation flow. Like, do
I
you
would
think he's
imagine something Biden old.
no? He'll go, huh? And then switch to baseball because he doesn't give a shit about anything that isn't baseball or, phone slots or whatever he's doing
You
most of
know.
the time when he's on break.
You know what? That weirdly gives me hope.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, we do have people who I know 100% are definitely like, Trump train all the way, and those guys aren't going to get reached, so I don't even bother. Like the
Hmm.
one guy, we have a guy at work who's intensely transphobic, and he will go on rants about this, and he watches Ben Shapiro. And when he's not there, we make fun of him. So, like, good stuff. Um, in his defense, uh, I guess he had brain cancer at one point.
Oh. Okay.
So maybe this has something to do with it. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, like most people, they just don't care. Like they don't pay attention to this. The only person I even know at work who I will talk to me about Ukraine because I care a lot about that. I know people there now. Like I don't know. I'm also a Dylan fan. Like he's there at the moment.
Oh,
You
did he go
know.
back to Ukraine?
Oh, he's been there for months now.
Okay.
He's been going out. I think like he was in Kiev when the children's hospital got hit. I don't think he was in the city center, but I mean he was in that region, and he heard the missiles go over.
Oh God.
Unless I'm confusing him with some other person in Kiev that I'm thinking of, who heard the miss. I might be. Yulia, I think, is she's a streamer.
Yeah.
But I think she did, and she recorded some of that. But she was closer to the city center. Anyway, the only reason I can talk to this person at work about it is because, number one, I found out about this only a few months into everything. She went to college in frickin' Moscow.
Really?
Yeah, this is not like I was just like, what? Yeah, she spoke Russian, went to college in Moscow, and like she's incredibly pro-Ukraine, but like, you know, it was all the same country back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, like she's and you know, some people that are like married into her family happen to be Ukrainian too. So it's like, okay, yeah, like you obviously are going to, you know, talk about this. And I mean, mostly it's just, man, this sucks. But, you know, she will occasionally give me a high five and I'm like, hey, they sunk another ship on my bingo card. Like, you know, whatever they're doing that day. But like most people aren't all that engaged. Like I talked to the guy who like literally he's in the cubicle next to me. Like he's never voted in his life.
Really? Okay.
I mean, he's a little bit younger than me, but you know, family man, wife, 3 kids, never ever once voted.
Have you talked with him about that? Like, has he given you like, hey, this is why I haven't voted?
No, he just said he's never voted. And given some of his other thoughts on things, I don't know if I want to encourage him to vote.
I see.
So there's that. Like, yeah, like I don't know. People like that I very much encourage not to vote. but yeah, like this is the average guy. You go out to like a bar, they don't give a shit about anything other than sports. I can talk to them about fishing. That is one thing I actually have in common with the normies. Sometimes video games, and that like there you go. And I read too many books, so I don't know anyone who even does that anymore for fun. At least not like, well, I mean, it's audiobooks. I used to, for this company, I used to be a lot more active driving from place to place and doing stuff for them there at like customers. So you're on the road for hours. You need something to listen to, and I can only listen to the radio for so long or a CD for so long.
Yeah.
And I don't have a big iTunes store. So yeah, a 14 to 24 hour long book. Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, that's your average voter. And like it's a, you know, it's kind of a diverse area around here. Like one of my neighbors, I was just watching her cat like a week ago. Post pictures of the cat online anyway. But no, she's Iraqi, and I'm pretty sure like I don't talk to her too much about politics other than like, you know, occasionally bringing up like, hey, there's like a thing going on down here. Do you know about it? And she's done that to me before too, because like, she's pretty damn pro-Palestine, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, not obviously, but you know what I mean. Like
Kinda,
the likelihood
goes with the
was
territory.
there.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, I'm right by Dearborn. I like, you know, I don't live in it, but I can throw a stick into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I'm pretty sure she's still riding with Biden or whoever the hell's at the top there, because she's at least aware enough to be like, yeah, Biden sucks and he might be dead, but
not doing the best.
No, well, in Biden's defense, iron within, iron without. All right.
Yep.
Now the iron within is a pacemaker, and the iron without is probably leg braces, but still there. Anyway, um, yeah, like she knows which side her bread is buttered on. I know that much. Like I haven't met anyone who's just like, I'll never vote for Kamala or like whatever.
Yeah.
Because everybody I know who wants to vote for the Democrats, they're just voting against Trump. Like they don't
Yeah.
care. It's like again, they could run a wombat. They could run, a sentient piece of toast. It doesn't matter what is on the top of the ticket. That's what they're going to try to get in.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and that
agree with that.
includes that largely includes my family, like my Republican dad, who's no
Really?
longer that. Well, I mean, he was never a Trump guy. He hated him. Like he was very much a I don't like all of the regulations that exist sometimes kind of guy. That was basically it. And my mom is incredibly libby. So she calls herself a socialist. She does not know what that means. And like, you know, I don't know. She was back in 2020, I think, or 20 during the primary. She was like waffling between Bernie and what was it, Warren or whoever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, and it was entirely because one of them was a woman. That was it. That was the
cool.
whole. Yeah, like or Kamala because girl boss. But sure, like.
All
That's
right.
more or less where we're at. I mean, I know she's going to go there and she's going to do her thing, and she is in a swing state, so that does matter. I'm trying to think, is there anyone I know who's like, well,
Like a Bidenista, like just for Biden.
I don't know anyone who does that. I know people who don't want to vote for him. The only person I can think of who might decide, I'm not voting for him. I'm going to do third party RFK is like my brother. Yeah, he's been on the Jimmy Dore train for a while, unfortunately. It's kind of sad. I hope he's
that
off
is
it by
sad.
now.
I hope he gets better soon.
Well, I'll see him in a month at his wedding.
Oh God.
That'll be great. Definitely won't be awkward at all.
Nope.
I brought this one up with him before, and
That didn't go
yeah.
well.
Well, it started with anti-vax, and then it got to some strange conspiracy shit. He won't describe the conspiracies.
Of course not.
No, just vague. I hate wave in that direction, and they're blah blah blah. I don't think he means the Jews yet, but the people telling him that do. So
yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, his wife is sane, or his soon-to-be wife is sane.
Well, that's good.
So that's nice. Maybe you'll get it out of his system on the honeymoon. I don't know. Yeah. So that's what that's I don't know. That's the average voter that I'm around, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be okay. Like I'm not nearly as pessimistic. Like, don't get me wrong, I do want the Dems to come out, no matter who's at the top of the ticket. They need to put the fear of God into everybody.
Yeah.
Like the Lincoln Project ad we saw. Like,
I mean, it's the only thing they have left to play, really. Like they can't go on the virtues of their candidate.
Not really, no. I mean, they can try. They can throw a little bit of that in, maybe. Yeah, like put the fear of God into people. Don't run your candidate, run against the other guy. Like that's I think the strategy from here on out. And Biden has shown he can't really do that. He can run ads, but you put him on a stage with Trump and it's a disaster. Like we all saw it. And I was, again, like I said, until today, I was on the fence, like maybe it was just a one-off, maybe it is, blah blah blah. And
but seeing that like, Putin flub kind of moved you.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was mostly like articles and things. I can forgive people making flubs a little bit. I mean, that was a bad one, but like no, it was like members of his cabinet talking about how they don't even see him anymore. He's kept isolated. Every meeting they have with him and with anybody is scripted ahead of time. Mm-hmm. Like they're talking about how they need to give him the questions they're going to ask him prior to the meeting so that he can write down his answers on a card and read it to them during the meeting.
Yeah.
Like, that is not how these meetings normally go. They described how it used to be with Obama in them, because a lot of these people were from that administration, and it's not like that anymore. And that's bad. That's really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like, if I had my way, it would be either Biden stepped down from the ticket and the presidency right now because you clearly cannot handle a crisis, or we force you off of both of those. But I'm pretty sure the what you were saying, like step down from the ticket, limp along, have the other adults in the room essentially, be like, Mr. President, remember, this is your response. This is your decision for this thing, right? And then we'll do that until January and hope to God that Trump isn't in. And if he does, like you were saying, there are certain things we can do. And you can learn a lot about it from certain civil disobedience, like the war in Ukraine and drones.
And I hate to cut you off.
I know it's
we have
time. It's time.
We have like a minute
30
left.
seconds.
Give me your final statement. Let's go.
Moscovia delenda est.
All right. Thank you so much. Pleasure talking with you. And also, just wanted to say, people in chat were saying that you're very well spoken and eloquent. So.
Oh, I try.
Good job.
Well, I'm not drunk like I was the last time I was on your stream. So
it does help. It does help.
Yes, it definitely does. All right, take care.
All right, you too. Thank you so much. And pray for a good press conference.
Oh God.
Yep. See ya. All right. Here we go, folks.